friends, welcome to my channel. In this video, we will talk about how to create responsive web page using Flexbox versus grid layout. By default, grid layout is more precise layout versus Flexbox where content block will be adjusted as per the content. It also by default, grid layout is two-dimensional layout, so where you can identify the content block by row and column, whereas Flexbox is one-dimensional. When you add block, it will be added either horizontally or vertically, but you can tweak that using additional CSS very easily. So in this video, we will create two-column responsive web page, first using Flexbox and then grid. So let's start. First we need is basic HTML5 page. So we will create a basic HTML5 page. And now we need to first create the basic web page layout. For that we will add the main tag. Now we need to add header. So now we have header, then section where we will have our content, and then footer. So this is very basic web page. Now in header we need is navigation, so we will add nav bar here. In section we need the div content and then a sidebar. Now in navigation we need we will add some basic tags like whom, about us, contact us, like that. So here we have header and navigation. One thing we also need to add is button. So this button will be shown on the mobile, so we will add this button for our header already. The next step is to add the content for our content block, and for that you can use website text generator. So it is like a 5-paragraph. I just will to the content block here and I will add it to the p tag. Okay, so now we have content. I will also add the heading like post heading or something, that way we know. Okay, so now we have this ready. Now for sidebar, I am going to add heading like a sidebar, and then we will source in image for now as a content. And I have, so now we have the content block, sidebar, and here we will add all rights reserved. Okay, so now we have everything here, and now we can add CSS to the page. For that we will use Tailwind CSS, but before we do that we should check the plain web page first. So now you can see we have the button for menu for mobile page, we have menu, the heading, text, the sidebar, and the footer. Now all we need is to source in the Tailwind CSS, and on Tailwind CSS side you click docs, and now you see the installation. We will go for CDN version for now, as we are using on plain HTML page, but when CSS ready, and we need to add some basic CSS to make this web page better, and then we will add the flex layout. So for that I'm just adding few things. The basic CSS for header I will just add some background so it will be a little bit different from the main content. And for now I'm going to add some padding, that way it will look good. Now also for this button we need to add the SVG. We will go into the resources, And there you can see the beautiful SVG icons. You click here and you look for the menu. You see we have a lot of different options for menu. I'm choosing this one, and we can say, so by default it would be shown, and on breakpoint it will be hidden, so it won't be seen on large devices or desktop. Here we say by default it would be hidden, and on breakpoint it will be as black. Okay, that is that. We need to a little bit put some height width here as we are adding onto the menu, and we can change color here. You can also add the CSS, but for now I'm just adding the color here. And now we have to put the A tag, and we say BG color. I'm putting 800, rounded, text white, and PX for BY2. Now we will add this for other tags. That way it will look similar. Now here we will change a little bit. We only show on hover, and we also differentiate the shade. We will show the rounded, and we will show the text gray. So we are adding home as active, and then other tags as like on color. Here we add class BG gray and 400, and padding would be 6. Okay, so now we have header and footer ready. Now write the layout here, and we say class, and we will put flex, and we will also put some padding for and margin 2. See, we have a post heading and the sidebar, both are as flex layout and side by side. Now, so we will just add this, so on the bottom and header on the top. With the flex layout, you can see we have 2 column, and the content block is more wider than the sidebar. So we will add some tweaks to create the sidebar and the content block. The content div both are as like a 60 to 40% ratio. You need to add onto the content block, you can say small. We will provide the breakpoint and say grow, and then you also provide the width 3 by 5. And for sidebar, same, we will provide width 2 by 5. So we will provide basically the ratio. Now let's see. So when we resize the web page, it's basically changing in this similar ratio, like 60% to 40%. So it will look mostly similar across the different breakpoint. And with the mobile, it will be just a vertical layout. So that way you can create, we can definitely change a little bit width here, and then we can have more sidebar. Both column looks very much 60 to 40% ratio. So that's how we create the flex layout, to column responsive web page. Now we will move over to the grid layout, and we will try. So for that, all you do is you change here grid, and you specify grid calls 3. So we are using 3 columns, so it will divide the web page exactly same sized column, and it would be 3 column. Now our content div is bigger, so we'll use 2 column for it. So we say call span 2, so that would be 2, and for aside we use now call span 1, and we will not using the p tag anymore with the grid layout. Now you can see it has exactly 3 column for the web page, and it is assigned the exact width. Now if you resize the page with each breakpoint, it will adjust the columns. So now your sidebar always stays as 1 column versus content block always stays 2 column. So you will see that difference. So that's great. And once you are on the mobile, it will show as a tag and vertical. Here we know our content well, so it's good to use the grid layout. So this is how you can easily create 2 column responsive web page using grid or flexbox. It's very easy. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in next video.